In today's lesson, we're going to look at the funniest joke ever in English, as well as some narrative tenses. Hello and welcome to another video. My name's Alex. Remember to subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any of our lessons on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now in today's lesson we're going to look at officially, and I mean officially as in voted by me, the funniest ever joke in English. We're going to use the joke also to look at some narrative tenses and explore that grammar a little bit. Now first of all, let's have a look at the joke. A guy was sitting in his living room one day watching TV when he heard a knock at the door. Who could this be, he thought. His wife had gone out and he was looking forward to relaxing for a while. He switched off the TV and went to the front door. When he got to the door, he answered it, looked around, and couldn't see anyone there. He looked down and saw a snail sitting there. In case you're wondering, this photo is a snail. He thought, that's strange, and kicked the snail down to the end of the garden. Two weeks later, he was sitting watching TV again and heard another knock on the door. He went to the door, opened it, and it was the snail again. The snail said to him, "Why did you do that?" What did you think? Funny, right? I think so anyway. Okay, now we're going to go back to the joke and I'm going to take out some of the sentences. I want you to try to think about the tenses I used in the original joke. So let's have a look at the gap fill. Okay, so here we have the joke again, but there are a couple of missing things in each slide. So can you think what should be here? I'll give you a second and then read the slide to you again. A guy was sitting in his living room one day watching TV when he heard a knock at the door. What about this one? What could the gaps be? Remember, two gaps will mean two words. Who could this be, he thought. His wife had gone out and he was looking forward to relaxing for a while. And what about this one? Can you remember the verbs and the tenses? He switched off the TV and went to the front door. And the next part of the joke. What should be in the spaces? When he got to the door, he answered it, looked around, and couldn't see anyone there. Just one space here. What should be in the gap? He looked down and saw a snail sitting there. In case you're wondering, this photo is a snail. The picture should help you figure out what should be in the gap here. He thought, that's strange, and kicked the snail down to the end of the garden. What should be in the gaps in this sentence? Two weeks later, he was sitting watching TV again and heard another knock on the door. Almost finished now. What should be in these two spaces? He went to the door, opened it, and it was the snail again. And the end of the joke, or the punchline as we call it. The snail said to him, "Why did you do that?" Did you get all the tenses correct? Let's have a look at the grammar in a little bit more detail. Okay, so in the joke, there were 7 past simple irregular verbs used in past simple. So what I'd like to do just now is go back to the joke, look through it again for a minute, find what the past simple irregular verbs were, then come back to this point in the video and check your answers. So you can go just now. Okay, and now you're back, we can check the answers to this. So the 7 past simple irregular verbs and the infinitives for them are heard, the infinitive is hear, thought, the infinitive is think, went, the infinitive is go, got, the infinitive is get, couldn't, the infinitive or the present form with this one because it's a modal verb is can't, saw, the infinitive is see, and I can read my writing there, and said, the infinitive is say. Okay, so now I want you to go back and we're going to look at examples of past continuous. Okay, so we're looking for sentences which were talking about something that was happening at a specific time or for a prolonged period of time. Past continuous. There are 2 examples in the joke. So go back, find them, come back to this part of the video and we'll check the answers. Okay, so you're back. The 2 examples are: a guy was sitting, he was looking forward. There was also one example of past perfect, which means we're talking about a time earlier than the time of the joke. There's only one example there. Can you go back and find it? And I'll meet you back here. Okay, did you find it? So the one example of past perfect is his wife had gone out, because we were talking about a time before the time in the joke. Do you know any jokes in English? Let me know in the comments. Feel free to share them as long as they're polite. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and I'll see you next time.